Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Locum23 here. You're joining me for Choices of Stories You Play weekly recap. Please stay to the end of this because we have a very important announcement that pretty much, well, has to do with all of you. So first, let's jump in here with Freshman. This week I really enjoyed. However, let's start with some of the complaints or flaws or discussion. So, charging diamonds for the Skype date, or at least planning it when, especially you're sitting there in front of the computer and you're able to do the Skype call with Brandon, with Zach, that's a little stupid. But that's childish, and let's move on. The Outlaw song, I'm glad that they're still paying um, tribute to Most Wanted. However, um, so about that Most Wanted book, too. Cough, cough, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas where they could go with that. I don't know if maybe they're in a deadlock of ideas. I would love to pitch some of my ideas to them. I've even tried to contact some of the Pixelberry writers on Twitter and things like that. Um, no replies back. Sebastian stopping the fundraising initiative funds from going to textbooks. What the hell? They said it ever so subtly in like a sentence. Just, hey, Sebastian, the guy who screwed up our initiative. It didn't work. Oh, okay. Do you want to go make a pie? Um, that really sucked because I wanted more details. Like, how? Why? You raised all this money for this specific initiative, and you're telling me what? That, that the school's on fire, or what? I mean, anyway. Moving on to Endless. I really enjoyed, and I really don't have any complaints besides the diamonds for the VIP room. If I would have known that that would have been your shortcoming, and I would have got drunk in the first room as well as the second room, and then moved on and continued the rest of the story. At least it would have built up some rapport with Zara, who I was in all of this and thinking, and her technological savviness as well as computer savviness. I thought, has anyone out there been able to get her into that workroom? Remember, she got right to the elevator, she hacked it, and then because we proposed her doing something for the rest of the place, she walked away. She's like, I ain't your bitch. Um, I really wish I knew if we could get her in there because maybe she might be able to find a roundabout way. Maybe she might be working on it. Because it's something that would definitely intrigue her type of personality. I don't know. Um, I really enjoyed the rest of the story for Endless this week. No real complaints. I like how they brought the teams back together. So hopefully in the next chapter, um, everything's awesome. On the rules of engagement, so I thought about this as Violet said it, and I quote, her room's covered in filth. They were, I believe, um, talking about either Nicole. I mean, they were talking in the pretenses of Nicole, but they were also talking about Audrey as well, the girl who Nicole was into. I don't know if they've went in there because how would they know that information? So they've went into either Nicole or Audrey's room to find that information out, whether they were snooping or not. Which I mean that's a 99.9% gone foregone conclusion, but I digress. Also, the fact that this is chapter one, and everybody's like, "We gonna fix it. We gonna fix it." Come on. That would make the next, what, 18 chapters boring as shit? Well, we're getting married to William, or at least I am. We're getting married to William. And then for the next, what, probably 16 or so chapters, it's just going to be love options, or the drama with Nicole, or dealing with your aunt. I mean, I love the book, don't get me wrong. Just, we need a little more. We need a little more meat and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Less froth, less stew, and all that just liquid. We need more meat and potato. We need more substance in there. Um, the whole Nicole thing. I feel like she's went to the Mansing internship, which duh. But I feel like she's either going to go there, find out it's just not what she wanted, and she wants to enjoy. I mean, let's put it this way: she gets $1 million, right? She gets $1 million to I mean, if I had $1 million myself, I would do a lot of great things with that. I've always thought of others in my whole entire life, and long story short, I would get a home and I would put a lot back for security and a net, but any money that I sat down and I mathematically, I'm not a person who's a materialistic person. I'm a person who sits here and I go, okay, what can I live on for the rest of my life? And yeah, you could get like a work at home job and keep the money rolling in. I would give a lot of the money back, to be honest. You know, give it out to charities or give it out to, kind of like Secret Santa every year or something of that magnitude. That's just the person I am. But I digress. The diamond wall being used, I mean, Leo the cards, and then William the picnic, and Dean the drink. You're killing me because there was like 6 diamond walls in this episode, which really did suck. But I digress. I mean, I would be fine with the diamond walls if, one, they didn't charge so damn much, and two, if there was a way, and I thought about this, every single game that I play, every game, that I legit and millions of others legit like because it gives you at least a legit fairness. It's not pay to win. It's pay to get that building done quicker. It's pay to get this pack open quicker. It's pay to things like that I can deal with. As long as you give a normal average Joe a chance, that's fine. And I love the stories as a whole, and at least for most of the books and most of the chapters, you do get some substance in the meat and potatoes, but it's thinned out a lot of episodes, like the one where it was like 12 minutes long. Out of a usual 20 to 25 minutes, it was like, holy shit, this was cut literally in half because you were going to go over some backstory or something, and it was literally half the damn chapter. That sucks. Could you imagine picking up one of your favorite books? And I mean, I feel like downloadable content, which if you're a gamer, you know what that means. I feel like that's treading over into the apps area. I feel like that's becoming now a part of it. Like if you want to unlock this chapter, pay $9.99. I feel like wow, that just is not the way it should be. I'm a person who, if I go out and I get something such as my perfect reference to this is GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64, you work on unlocking that content as you go with hard work and determination, and you get the whole game as a whole. And that is like one of the number one games a lot of people mention is that's a game that's how it's supposed to be. I digress. Let's move on. Haunting. Um, if you haven't spent the diamonds to sleep with Eleanor, please don't. It just is very underwhelming. I'm not gonna spoil it unless you want me to, which then I suggest you skip about 10 seconds ahead, starting now. Pretty much you go in, you go upstairs, you chase Eleanor, you go to the bedroom with her, you sit down, you kiss, and then you sleep, and it's very fade away. There's no real details. You wake up, you take the key. And unpause, no, or unfast forward. Um, yeah, just really wasn't worth it. It would be worth it if there was a regenerative way to get the diamonds to unlock it to go with that. That would be fantastic. Next, love hacks. No real complaints here, though I do have a personal complaint. That is the point of this, is to have a discussion with all of you. Um, Going and doing a revenge date. Yeah, I get it. It would have been that quote unquote clicks and all this. Well, now that it didn't go the way she wanted, it's not going to get the clickbait, as they call it nowadays, that she wanted or that they wanted at her job. So, with that being said, I mean, yeah, you didn't know that, but at the same time, it's just wrong. I'm not a person who's going to be like, hey, excuse me, you want to go on a date? Yeah, I'd love to go on a date with you. Oh, yeah. And then you make the whole date a living hell because you just want to get at someone because they couldn't stand cowboy music in your date that was prior. What? Okay. Anyway, I mean, yeah, the guy was a little full of himself, but on the plus side, you can she finds and she kind of has a personal awakening during this too, and I'm glad that while she's trying to make this as insufferable date as possible for him, he pretty much just looks at her and says, I'm trying to change. And he was laughing about it, and he's like, I went in there and I dealt with I really wish he'd explained why, and that could have been a diamond option to see why he hated cowboy oriented shit so much. That could have been a diamond option. There you go. That would have been one where it would have been like, I want to know why this guy hates cowboys so much. And then, finding out that, yeah, he's trying to change, he's trying to do all these good things, he's trying to go through all this, and hey, would you like to have a future date? And help me. And it's kind of a woman thing because, statistically speaking, women love to get a guy who has some things wrong with him and try and fix them. I'm not calling anyone out, but that is true. Um, I myself, I'd say I'm a person who tries to perfect myself, but at the same time, I don't have the ability to do so because my self-sacrificing nature gives. It's kind of a weakness. So, with that being said, the announcement that I'm sure you're all looking forward to, and God, how long have we been here? Okay, so let's get to that. Um, Long story short, I have loved doing the voiceovers. I have loved, though it is a lengthy process and a lot of hard work. I love doing the voiceovers. I love sitting there and doing the commentary. I love doing the voices for each character. And there's a lot of times I'll be just sitting and recording, and then it's like you just all of a sudden go, this person, here's his name, and it's hard when you first encounter a character that has no name, has no personality, has no look, because it's like, oh shit, what do I do to voice this guy or this gal? And with females, we've got the blonde for some of them, not all. The kind of like airhead, like hi, like oh my god, and then we've got Becca, who's more of a angry, not airhead, but airhead-ish kind of. But she would rip your head off, and she does have some intelligence. But at the same time, you try and make those look. How can I put it this way? They're kind of like side characters. They're not plot specific. You don't want to, one day have her sound like a complete idiot, and then the next she's your best friend and she's an intricate part and role in the story. So when you're doing all these things, and when, a lot of people think maybe there's a voice acting or anything doesn't take some effort, it does. You don't sit here and you're not like PewDiePie who just starts, no offense to the guy, and I'm subscribed to him, but you don't start screaming, like, for instance, during the haunting of Braidwood, for no point, intents, and purpose because you're trying to get views and oh my god, you threw a bunch of shit all over your room and everything because you're trying to get views and overreact because everybody likes that. Everybody likes dirt on people. Everybody likes the bad things, and I don't like that. I'm not a person who enjoys that shit. I like, once in a while, like a prank video or something. That's funny if it's the right kind of prank. Um, I'd rather sit down and watch a video that tests people about, would you take this $100 bill on the ground or would you give it to someone or try and find that person. I like those kind of videos versus like a prank that hurts people. That being said, the announcement that I wanted to say is I moderate the channel and do a lot of work in the comment section, and I try and keep it as positive as possible. I love when people have a little bit of opinionated, heated discussion, and that's fine and everything. However, when you do go and you do hurt one another, insult one another, which trust me, there's plenty of comments directed at me. Um, I don't. I try and avoid that. So I clean those comments up. I'll either tell people, hey, what didn't you like or something, and try and rationalize with them. But if you're sitting there and you're saying, and for instance, this was one of the most recent comments was, you sound like a faggot, you're gay, your voice is shit, all this shit. Is anyone got a gun to your head and forcing you to listen to my video? Are you here by gunpoint? Is someone threatening you if you don't watch this video, you're going to die? No. So why people feel the need to leave those types of comments and to be brash and not even brash is the word, just to be an ass. Um, I don't understand. However, from a neutral slash business standpoint, I do have to take into account that other channels are superior in views and things like that for their silent videos, for their videos that there's no one voicing over. I think there's only one other channel that is a channel that is a friend of mine's, that she just picked it up. She's a female, and she just picked it up, and she doesn't do voiceovers. She just sits and she plays the game like you and I would when we sit down. We're not on recording or anything, and she just sits down and like, what the hell, Diego? And she sits there and does commentary during it. She'll read it out normal like me, kind of like things only country fans will understand. Chapter 6. And then she's like, country fan, piss off. Um, However, they're the channels. I am probably one of the most hard worked ones that has an act that is the most underwhelming, I guess is the way to put it. I don't know if maybe people enjoy the silence and to read it and to see that person's choices. And then also the fact they did diamond choices or they hacked. That's part of the reason it sucks. So what I'm thinking is, and this is up for discussion, and one of the reasons you haven't seen Most Wanted uploaded to the channel yet, is I'm thinking about doing the diamond used editions for, starting with Most Wanted, of course. I'm thinking about just having this silent. So you'll have the Most Wanted music, you'll have the video on the screen, but I won't talk. I've thought about doing that. It would give a difference and a different option for folks. Yeah, I don't get why people just couldn't mute the video. If I did a voiceover, they'd rather sit there and insult you in the comment section, or go elsewhere, which that kind of sucks too. You kind of want to build a community, but at the same time, I'm trying to build a community that I want too, but I can't have a community if my community is, let me be honest, leaving. Or not a community if one community does not want to such exist. Um, so there, I'm going to be honest. Um, I want, I don't know, I'll probably do a state of the channel video here soon. I've been talking about it, and every once in a while I'll get some ideas, but then I thought, I'll do this choices thing. We'll talk about the weekly recap, which I'll probably do another one this week if there's a lot to talk about. I sit here while I'm doing these, as I'm editing and doing the voiceovers, and I sit here and I'm like, and I'll stop and pause, and I'm like, here is my notebook. I will sit here and I will write things down under the header, like freshman endless point rules, and I'll sit here and I'll write, this was stupid, or something like that, or I'll go back through my video and watch it myself, and, I don't know. So, the diamond wall issue and going through and doing the videos on silent, that's up for discussion. One of the things you folks, as always, really help me out with is if you could share the videos, get them out there. If you're already subscribed, that is awesome. If you're not, hey, feel free to. And then liking the videos helps as well. But for getting the content out there, share the video. If you enjoyed it, share it. Let other people decide whether you want to stay or go. And yeah, I just want to build a community of great people that watch the content, that enjoy the content. That I don't know. Maybe I'm just foolhardy. Maybe I'm just like a hopeless romantic that's dumping that into my YouTube channel and trying to make it something that no one else has done with a great community. I don't know. I just have a dream, and I have a hope, and I don't want that dream to die. Because it's a last, I guess you could say a one and only last-ditch effort. So, with that being said, You know what to do if you did enjoy the video or want to leave some feedback. Hey, go to the comment section down below. Also, in the description, as always, there is my social media links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. All those, every time I do a video, those are automatically updated. Um, so yeah, and then if you ever want to chat, you can message me on Twitter and Facebook if you ever just want to not tweet, like where everyone can read it. If you just want to have a discussion or something, I'm pretty hastily to reply to you. I'm not someone who sits there and lets you sit in the wings and waits days or weeks. Um, so yeah, I try and do my best. So hope you guys did enjoy the video, and until next time, peace out.